You know there's concern from the Europeans that President Zelenskyy is going to be bullied into signing something away. That's why you have these European leaders coming as backup tomorrow. Can you
No, it isn't. That's not why they're coming
them?
as back. That's not true. No, but that's not why would, that's not true. They're not coming here tomorrow to keep Zelenskyy from being bullied. They're
well,
not
that
coming.
February
in fact,
Oval Office
they're coming
meeting
here
in
tomorrow
front of television cameras where President Zelenskyy.
Do you know how many meetings we've had
down.
since then?
Oh no, I know, and I was just up in Alaska watching the one with Vladimir Putin where a red carpet rolled out for the Russian leader.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio pushing back on the notion that European leaders are joining Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy at the White House tomorrow to prevent yet another shouting match between him and President Trump. Now, this comes just days after President Trump failed to secure a ceasefire with Russia and is now saying that it's on Ukraine to make a deal to end Russia's invasion. Now, the president posting on social media tonight saying, quote, that President Zelenskyy of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to or if he can continue to fight. Willie James Inman has more.
The White House is preparing for Monday's meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. A number of European leaders will also attend, including the leaders of Germany and France, as well as the Secretary General of NATO.
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
The Oval Office gathering will be the first time Zelenskyy has returned to the White House since a disastrous meeting with President Trump earlier this year. On Sunday, President Zelenskyy met with the president of the European Commission, who told reporters there can be no limits on Ukraine's armed forces or outside assistance.
Ukraine must be able to uphold its sovereignty and its territorial integrity.
Zelenskyy emphasized the importance of Europe and the U.S. standing with Ukraine.
And it's very important that you are with us and that we speak to America and we speak together. And it's important that Washington is with us.
Monday's meeting comes just 3 days after President Trump met with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska, a meeting that ended with no announcement of a ceasefire. On Sunday's Face the Nation, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said President Trump is intent on achieving peace between Ukraine and Russia.
Right now, this is the biggest war going on in the world. It's the biggest war in Europe since World War II. We're going to continue to do everything we can to reach an agreement that ends the dying and the killing.
Secretary Rubio said both Ukraine and Russia need to be prepared to make concessions.
Both sides are going to have to give up something in order to get to the table, in order to make this happen.
President Zelenskyy said Sunday any territorial matters should be discussed at an eventual trilateral meeting involving Russia and Ukraine, as well as the U.S. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.